Testing. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Brews, Chews, and News. Do we have anyone here today who's here for the first time? I see a hand up. Good morning. Fine, and how are you?
Happy.
What's your name?
My name is Terry Romstead.
And you're a new resident?
New resident in Rockhurst, I think it's called.
Okay, you're in the Rockhurst building. And where did you move from?
Across the street.
Another neighbor moving in. We have a lot of that here.
We're in the Shenandoah subdivision. Our house sold yesterday.
Oh, well, that's good news. Let's welcome Terry. Rockhurst. Well, that's one of your neighbors. No. He must be. Well, if you see him roaming around looking for his building. Okay. These R's confuse everybody. Is there anyone else? All right, what time is it? It's show time at coffee time. It's that time of the day. We read some stories, sing some oldies, drive your cares away. It's show time at coffee time. We lift you up for a while, but we can't do it. You've gotta hop to it. Put on a great big smile. We'll have photographs and belly laughs. Try some games to play. And sometimes we get serious, but we don't stay long that way. So grab a donut and fill your cup and start to loosen up. Put a smiling place on a happy face as we go on with the show. And now, Wade is weaving his way through to give us a little update.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Terry, don't worry about it. Robert, Rutgers, Ridley, there's so many of them. You'll eventually learn them all. So I don't have a whole lot this morning, but I wanted to tell you guys that I was thinking about you yesterday. I was out doing a little yard work, and I came in, and I thought, man, what am I going to talk to the residents about tomorrow? Because I don't really have a whole lot. And golf was on, so I thought, you know what? How about some St. Louis golf trivia? And as we do it here at Friendship Village, we'll load up on candy, donuts, whatever. So this question is for, and then I have one clinic thing that I'll talk about. I'm waiting to the end for that fun stuff. This question is for the gentlemen. We're going to let the gentlemen take this question, and the ladies will take the next one. This famous golfer was born in Joplin, Missouri. He won the U.S. Open in 1974, 1979, and 1990. And that's all I'm telling you. So, who is that famous Missouri golfer? And I got to see him on several occasions at Boone Valley Golf Club during the seniors tour. He was born, I'll give you one more hint. If I can get my tablet back on here. He was born June 3rd, 1945. See, he's around your age. So, that's why I went back that far. No, I don't mean it in a bad thing. Who is that famous golfer, gentlemen? No. From Missouri. His first initial of his name starts with an H. Uh-oh. And his last name starts with an I. Hale Irwin. You know what, Doris? It doesn't matter. If the gentleman can't do it, they can't do it. That's 2 in a row for Doris. All right, ladies. This famous female golfer was from St. Louis, Missouri. She was born February 18, 1945. She won 26 LPGA events, and she became a golf analyst on the 2010 in 2010 on the Golf Channel. Does anybody know her name? Her first name starts with a J and last name an R. All right. Looks like I'm going to have myself a Reese's today. No. Judy Rankin. Okay. Boy, I need to make these questions easier. So, whoever raises their hand first gets this. Jerry, you did it. You did it. All right. So, back to a little business. I wanted to give you all an update and give you some clarification on the clinic. Jerry actually asked this at the town hall meeting, and I wanted to make sure you all were aware. As you know, with the clinic running now, we are taking more insurances, and those are managed care insurances or traditional Medicare insurance. Remember, before we were only taking traditional Medicare insurances. Now, the difference with the managed care insurances is that there are always physicians already with that care or insurance company. So you will have to get your prescriptions, your orders, and those things through your managed care company and your physician there. If you change to the new physicians here, Dr. Wong and the clinical partners, let me back up. If you're traditional Medicare and you don't have Dr. Wong as your primary, who is the clinic, you can still go down there in emergency type situations. Jerry won't mind if I share with him his incident that he had. Jerry has a hearing aid, and he had an issue with the hearing aid where he needed the nurse practitioner to remove something from his ear. What Jerry did was he went to St. Luke's, right, Jerry? He went to outpatient urgent care through St. Luke's, and they did that for him. Well, Jerry's primary physician is not Dr. Wong, but Jerry could have gone down to the clinic as a traditional Medicare resident and had that taken care of. Sort of a urgent care kind of a situation. So I just want you guys to know that if you're traditional Medicare and you don't have Dr. Wong as your primary physician, you can go down there in certain circumstances for urgent care type of needs. Now, if you're with a managed care company, you won't be able to do that. Okay? All right. Any questions? Is that clear as mud? Yeah, well, Aetna would be a managed care insurance. They could not use it as an urgent care, but if you're with Aetna, you would have to have Dr. Wong as your primary to be able to use it in that situation. Yes, Terry? TRICARE, you know what? I'll check on that one. You're talking about the VA? Yeah. I'll get back with you on that one. Well, you should be able to use it then if you have traditional. Yes. Lab work, if you have a physician that's ordered lab work, Mary's down in the clinic and she does blood work and those kinds of things, you can still get that done down there. Still going to be thanks to your... Yes, everything will run exactly the same as it did previously. Okay? All right, thank you all.
Thank you, Wade. And now, Sarah's coming up to tell us what's going to happen around the village this week.
Good morning. Well, we had a fun week last week with the Irish dancers. It was quite packed in here, so thank you all for joining us for that. Now we're turning our gears over towards Easter, which is kind of hard to believe that it's just around the corner. I wanted to remind you that next Monday, March 30th, we'll be hosting the annual Easter bonnet contest. So I hope you've been working, knitting, crocheting, getting ready for that. So there will be prizes for the winners, so make sure you bring your Easter bonnet next Monday. In addition, we're also getting ready. If you were at Town Hall, you heard me mention the Easter extravaganza coming up. There'll be more information in your Village Voice for April, but that will be on Saturday, April 4th from 2 to 4 p.m. in the Trillium, common areas, and the courtyard. So this event will be geared around families, so bringing your grandchildren, great-grandchildren. We'll have the Easter Bunny here for family photos. We'll have an egg hunt for the kids outside, weather permitting. We'll have some face painters, some refreshments, games, and all kinds of stuff. So if you could, we ask that you would sign up at the concierge. It just helps us get a count to make sure we have plenty of crafts and everything for all the kiddos that'll be coming. For today, though, at 1 o'clock, we've got our writers group meeting in the Wellness Studio. Just a reminder, Mary Baller's still out on vacation this week. She will be back next Monday, but the blood pressure clinic's canceled for today. We do have drama group at 2 p.m., and they're getting ready for their next performance, which will be on April 6th, so that's just around the corner as well. Tomorrow, March 24th, we have putting taking place at 9 a.m. in the theater, followed by chimers at 11 a.m., and then we're bringing back our square dancers at 2:30 tomorrow in the Wellness Studio. So those that attended last time said they had a lot of fun, so I hope if you didn't get a chance to make it that you'll join us tomorrow at 2:30. On Wednesday, March 25th, the Dietary Committee will be meeting at 9:45 a.m. And then we also have at 10 o'clock the Caregivers Support Group in the study room. Just a reminder, Wednesday, since Mary is still out, aqua arthritis will not take place just for this Wednesday. But we will have bocce at 12:45, followed by the bookmobile at 1:30. And then March 26th, it is opening day. So join us in the theater from 12 to 2 to celebrate the Cardinals. We'll have a double-sided buffet that you can come and enjoy hot dogs, hamburgers, and more. And don't forget to wear your red and white and cheer them on. On Friday, March 27th, Michelle wanted me to remind you that at 2 o'clock, there's a urinary tract infection presentation that'll take place here. And then that evening at 7 o'clock, Bob Driscoll will be hosting his Friday night video concert. Saturday, March 28th, we have water volleyball as usual at 9:30, and I know a group of them are gearing up for the St. Louis Legends, also known as the Senior Olympics, coming up in May. And then we also have our usual 6 p.m. bingo and 6:30 Mexican train. Just a few other miscellaneous items. I believe Phil Karst has his 83rd birthday coming up this week on March 28th. They'll be celebrating from 5 to 8 in the theater. There's some flyers around, but they said everyone's welcome, so we hope you can join to celebrate. In addition, Carolyn Taylor is gathering an interest list for those that want to learn how to play Mahjong. So if you are interested, please sign up at the concierge so she can reach out to you and get that set up. And then one more thing, on March 30th, there's a hospice volunteer informational meeting at 1:30 in the Trillium Loft. So if you've just been curious or interested in getting started as a volunteer for hospice, that's where you can get all the information. So I think that's about it as far as transportation. Just a reminder, March 25th, Schnucks will go at 9:30, Walgreens at noon, and then on March 27th, Trader Joe's will go at 9:45 and Shops in the Valley at noon. Bert, I think you've got another announcement.
Good morning, everyone. Just two quick announcements from me today. This is the last week of our Wednesday Lenten services. 7 o'clock this week, resident Al Gilbert will be sharing on the difference Christ has made in him, and we encourage you to come out and be a part of that. These services have been really well attended. Really thanks to Sarah, who did a great job sharing this last week as well. Also, we are doing sign-ups yet for the Washington, D.C. trip in October. We have 30 spots. 14 of those are now filled. This morning at Sunset Hills, they're doing their informational meeting, and we expect more sign-ups from over there this week. So if you've been thinking about that trip and want to get signed up, do so before those spots are filled. You can see Jonathan for a registration form, or we have them on the shelf just outside the chapel as well. That's all for me.
Okay, any questions or announcements from the group? All right, Doris? Yes. How quickly I forget. Doris wanted me to mention there was a computer left in a Rockhurst cart. I think it was today, or was it over the weekend? I'm not sure when. So if you're missing a computer, please let security know. They've got it safely with them, but again, it was in a Rockhurst cart. Anything else? Thank you. So Valerie mentioned that the UTI presentation on Friday has been switched to the chapel, so I apologize if I announced that incorrectly. Anybody else? Okay. Well, we've got quite a few birthdays. Are there any in the room this week? No? Oh, we've got one. Happy early birthday. All right, so we'll start today on March 23rd. We have Margie Gould, George Kohat. We have Joanne McQueenie. On March 24th, Kathy Kohler. March 26th, Kathleen Heidman. And also Phil Karst, Suzanne Leach, Claudia Uccello. And then March 28th, we have Eric Bouchard, Roberta McCarthy. March 29th, Jane McLaughlin. Also Doris Melvin Defer, Bob Sullivan, and James Humphreys. And then finally on March 30th, Sandy Conrad. Very happy birthday and happy spring.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, God bless you. Happy birthday to you. And now Carla's coming in to make sure we stay nice and fit.
Good morning. Happy Monday morning. Thank you for standing up. All right, let's start at the top. Head, turn each way. 5 times, nice and smooth. 4, 3, 2, each way again. Now looking ahead, chin to chest, then look up. 4, 3, 2. Now let's keep looking up on this last one. Lift your arms up and reach toward the ceiling. 8, 7, 5, 3, 2, 1. Spread your fingers apart and make a fist. Spread and fist. 3 more like that. 2, once more. Now roll through your wrist. Excellent. And we're going to touch the back of the head 5 times. Just 5. 4 and 3. 2 more. 1 more. Holding up. Excellent. Now bring your hands to your hips. Separate your feet a bit. We're going to bend to one side in the waist, then the other. 4 more. 4, 3, 2, each way again. And center. Now we're going to do the hips, same thing. One way, other way. 4 and 3. Good. 2, each way again. Very nice. Now bend your hips and your knees and just reach to your knees. Straighten your legs up. 4 more times. 4. Good. 3, 2. 1 more time. Very good. Now lift up your heels. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now we're going to stomp our feet really hard. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. All right, now up with the arms again. Hands together, bend. 5, 4, 3, 2 more. 1 more time, and right to here. Thank you for joining me. Thank you.
Thank you, Carla. Now we're going to do a sing-along. The 2 eyes of blue, oh, what those 5 feet can do. Has anybody seen my gal? Tootsie woo, tootsie coo, tootsie, tootsie, tootsie woo. Has anybody seen my gal? Well, if you run into a 5'2", covered with fur, diamond rings and other things, bet your life it isn't her. Tootsie coo, tootsie coo, tootsie, tootsie, tootsie woo. Has anybody seen my gal? 5'2", eyes of blue. Well, what those 5 feet can do. Has anybody seen my gal? Tootsie woo, tootsie coo, tootsie, tootsie, tootsie woo. Has anybody seen my gal? Who should run into a 5'2", covered with pearls, diamond rings, all those things. To life it isn't her. tootsie woo, tootsie coo, tootsie, tootsie, tootsie woo. Does anybody see my gal? And now Mary Ann is going to do a presentation.
Good morning. This morning I'm going to read for you a poem entitled You're Only Old Once, and it's by Dr. Seuss. One day you will read in the National Geographic of a faraway land with no smelly bad traffic. In these green pastured mountains of Fatafazee, everybody feels fine at 103 because the air that they breathe is potassium free and because they choose nuts from the tut-a-tut tree. This gives strength to their teeth, it gives length to their hair, and they live without doctors with nary a care. And you'll find yourself wishing that you were out there in Fatafazee and not here in this chair in the Golden Years Clinic on Century Square for spleen readjustment and muffler repair. Just why are you here? You're not feeling your best. You've come in for an eyesight and solvency test. And if you're the type that gets finicky finnick, at this point you'll try to get out of this clinic, but they will outwit you as quick as a winnick. The quiz docs will catch you. They'll start questionnaring. They'll ask you point blank how your parts are all faring. And your grandfather's parts? And please try to recall if your grandma hurt worst in the spring or the fall. Did your cousins have dreadful wild nightmares at night? Did they suffer such ailments as bus driver's blight, chimney sweep stupor, or prune picker's plight? And describe the main cause of your uncle's collapse. Too much alphabet soup or martinis, perhaps? And the next thing you know when you've finished that test is somehow you've lost both your necktie and vest, and an oogler is oogling your stomach and chest. Your escape plans have melted, you haven't a chance. The next thing you know, both your socks and your pants and your drawers and your shoes have been lost for the day. The ooglers have blossomed like roses in May, and silently, grimly, they oogle away. What those ooglers have learned, they're not ready to tell. Clinicians don't spout their opinions pell-mell, so you're back with the vestibule fish for a spell. Norval won't bring you much comfort, you know, but he's quite sympathetic as clinic fish go. There you'll sit several hours growing tenser each second, fearing your fate will be worse than you reckoned, till finally Miss Becker, your beckoner, beckons. To a booth where the world-renowned earman Von Crandall has perfected a test known as bellows and candle. If the wind from the bellows can't blow out the flame, you failed, and you're going to be sorry you came. You'll be told that your hearing's so murky and muddy, your case calls for special intensified study. They'll test you with noises from far and from near, and you'll get a black mark for the ones you can't hear. Then they'll say, my dear fellow, you're deafer than most, but there's hope, since you're not quite as deaf as a post. We'll study your symptoms, we'll give you a call. In the meantime, go back and sit down in the hall. So you'll find yourself talking to Norval once more, and Norval will think that you're a bit of a bore because Norval has heard the same stories before. To this fish, you'll become a plain pain in the neck while you wait once again for Miss Becker to beg. But Miss Becker won't come. With great swish and great swank, a wheelchair will come. You've gained status and rank. And Weldon the wheeler will say with great pride, "You have qualified, sir. You are now certified as a VIP case. You're entitled to ride. Through thin and through thick, I'll be at your backside." Dear Weldon will show you great sights as you go. Right now you're riding down Stethoscope Row. And I know that like all our top patients, you're hoping to get yourself steth with some fine first-class scoping. So I'm sure you'll be simply delighted to hear that in the Internal Organ Olympics last year, Dr. Schmidt, Schmoot, Sinatra, Sylvester, and Fonz won 15 gold medals, 9 silver, 6 bronze. For the moment, however, we'll pass by this bunch. There is plenty of time to see them after lunch. You must see Dr. Pollen, our allergy whiz, who knows every sniffle and itch that there is. Dr. Pollen will find as he works on your case if the face powder's wrong on your stepsister's face. He will check your reactions to thumbtacks and glue, catcher's mitts, leaf mold, and cardigans too, nasturtiums and marble cake, white and blue chalk, anthracite coal and the feathers of hawks. Also corn on the cob, also buffalo grease, and how you react when you're stared at by geese. He'll take copious notes, then I'll hazard a guess that he'll send you downstairs to see Dr. Van Ness. Van Ness has enjoyed a high rate of success in his pioneer work in the study of stress, so you can be sure he will stress you a trifle. Then he'll send you around to see Dr. Von Eiffel. Dietitian Von Eiffel controls the Wolf Whiffer, a diet-devising computerized sniffer, of which you just simply lay down and repose and sniff at good food as it goes past your nose. From caviar soufflé to caribou roast, from pemmican patties to terrapin toast, you'll find out by sniff scan the food you like most. And when that guy finds out what you like, you can bet it won't be on your diet. From here on, forget it. Then in the new wing, you'll see Dr. Spreckles, who does the 3 Fs, footsies, fungus, and freckles. And next, you'll drop in on young Dr. Gins, our ANS man who does antrums and shins. And of course, he'll refer us to Doctors McGrew, McGuire, McPherson, and Blinn and Ballou, and Timpkins and Tompkins and Diller and Drew, Fitzsimmons, Fitzgerald, and Fitzpatrick too, all of whom will prescribe a prescription for you. When at last you are sure you've been properly pilled, then a few paper forms must be properly filled so that you and your heirs can be properly billed. Whereupon, if you're smart, there's a very good chance that you'll meet soon again with your socks, coat, and pants. And you'll know once your necktie's back under your chin and Norval has waved you Godspeed with his fin, you're in pretty good shape for the shape that you're in.
Thank you, Mary Ann. That was very cute. Now we're going to do a song to get us in the mood for Thursday. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I never get back. Let me root for for the home team. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I never get back. Let me root for the home team. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. And now JB is going to do a reading.
Good morning. Let's see, we'll start off with a golf one, since Wade started that business. Seems that Moses, Jesus, and an elderly-looking gentleman were going out to play golf. Moses hits his first ball, and it rolls down to the pond and rolls over parts of the start over again. Moses hits the ball, and it rolls down to the pond. Moses runs down, parts the water. The ball bounces across the bottom of the pond and up onto the green. Jesus says to Moses, "Nice shot, Moses." Jesus hits the ball. It lands on top of the water. Jesus walks out on top of the water, chips it onto the green. He walks back, and Moses says, "Nice shot, Jesus." The elderly-looking gentleman hits the ball, and it's the worst shot of all. It goes down about 40 feet. A strong wind blows the ball down into the pond, rolls down to the bottom of the pond. A big carp grabs the ball, goes up, fish jumps up into the air, out of the water with the ball. Just then a bird swoops down, grabs the ball in its mouth, flies off and drops the ball right on the green, where it rolls to about 2 inches of the hole. Suddenly, a squirrel runs out of the woods and pushes the ball into the hole for a hole-in-one. Jesus looks at the elderly man and says, "Nice shot, Dad." When Forrest Gump died, he stood in front of St. Peter at the pearly gates. St. Peter said, "Welcome, Forrest. We've heard a lot about you." He continued, "Unfortunately, it's getting pretty crowded up here, and we find that we now have to give people an entrance exam before we let them in." "Okay," said Forrest. "I hope it's not too hard. I've already been through a test. My mama used to say, life is like a final exam. It's hard." "Yes, Forrest, I know, but this test is only 3 questions. Here they are. Number 1. Which 2 days of the week start with T, the letter T? Number 2, how many seconds are in a year? 3rd, what is God's first name? "Well, sir," said Forrest, "the first one is easy. Which 2 days of the week begin with the letter T? That's today and tomorrow." St. Peter looked surprised and said, "Well, that wasn't the answer I was looking for, but you have a point. I'll give you credit for that one." "The next question," said Forrest, "how many seconds are in a year?" 12. 12, said St. Peter, surprised and confused. "Yes," Forrest said, "January 2nd, February 2nd, March 2nd. Well, St. Peter interrupted him and said, "I see what you mean. I'll have to give you credit for that one, too." "And the last question," said Forrest, "what is God's first name?" "It's Andy." "Andy," said St. Peter, in shock. "How did you come up with Andy?" "Oh, I learned it in church. We used to sing about it." Forrest broke into song. I'm not going to sing. "Andy walks with me. Andy talks with me. Andy tells me I'm his own." St. Peter opened the gate to heaven and said, "Run, Forrest, run." All right, we'll change the topic a little bit. You know, we always hear rules from the female side, but we have some now we have some from the man's side. Here are the new rules. Number one, men are not mind readers. 2, learn to lift the toilet seat. You're a big girl. If it's up, put it down. We need it up, you need it down. You don't hear us complaining when you leave it down. Number 3, crying is blackmail. 4, ask for what you want. Let's be clear on this one. Just say it. Subtle hints don't work. Strong hints don't work. Just say it. Yes and no are perfectly good answers to almost every question. Come to us with a problem only if you want help solving it. That's what we do. Sympathy, that's what your friends are for. Anything we said 7 months ago is inadmissible in an argument. In fact, all comments are null and void after 7 days. If something we say can be interpreted 2 ways and one of the ways makes you sad or angry, we meant it the other way. You can either ask us to do something or tell us how you want it done. If you already know how best to do it, just do it yourself. Whenever possible, say whatever you have to say during the commercials. Christopher Columbus didn't need directions, and neither do we. Men only see 16 colors like the Windows default settings. Peach, for example, is a fruit, not a color. Pumpkin is also a fruit, and we have no idea what mauve is. If we ask what's wrong and you say nothing, we act like nothing's wrong. We know you're lying, but it's just not worth a hassle. If you ask a question that you don't want to hear the answer to, if you ask a question that you don't want the answer to, expect an answer you don't want to hear. When we have to go somewhere, absolutely anything you wear is fine. Don't ask us what we were thinking unless you're ready to talk about things like baseball and basketball and football. Yes, you have enough clothes. You have too many shoes. I'm in shape because round is a shape. And yes, I know might have to sleep on the couch tonight, but did you know men really like that? It's like camping. Okay, the last one. This woman had not read her rules, so her husband was a little bit of a rascal. And she got a letter from Walmart. Yesterday, my dear wife received the following letter from our local Walmart. Dear Mrs. Harris, over the past 6 months, your husband has caused quite a commotion in our store. We cannot tolerate this behavior and have been forced to ban both of you from the store. Our complaints against your husband, Mr. Harris, are listed below and are documented by our video surveillance cameras. June 15th, he took 24 boxes of condoms and randomly put them in other people's carts when they weren't looking. July 2nd, set all the alarm clocks in housewares to go off in 5-minute intervals. July 7th, he made a trail of orange juice on the floor leading to the women's restroom. July 19th, walked up to an employee and told her in an official voice, Code 7 in housewares, get on it right away. This caused the employee to leave her assigned section, receive a reprimand from her supervisor, that in turn caused management to lose time and cost the company money. We don't have a Code 7. August 4th, went to the service desk and tried to put a bag of M&Ms on layaway. August 14th, moved a caution wet floor sign to a carpeted area. August 15th, set up a tent in the camping department and told the children shoppers he'd invite them in if they would bring pillows and blankets from the bedding department, to which 20 children obliged. August 23rd, when a clerk asked if they could help him, he began crying and screamed, "Why can't you people just leave me alone?" EMTs were called. September 4th, looked right into the security camera and used it as a mirror while he picked his nose. September 10th, while handling a gun in the hunting department, he asked the clerk where the antidepressants were. October 3rd, darted around the store suspiciously while loudly humming the Mission Impossible theme. In the auto department, he practiced his Madonna look by using different sizes of funnels. Think about that. October 18th, hid in a clothing rack, and when people browsed through, yelled, "Pick me, pick me, pick me." October 22nd, when an announcement came over the loudspeaker, he assumed the fetal position and screamed, "Oh no, it's those voices again." And last but not least, on October 23rd, went into a fitting room, shut the door, waited a while, and then yelled very loudly, "Hey, there's no toilet paper in here." One of the clerks passed out. That's all I have for today.
Thank you, JB. Now we're going to do another sing-along. Irene, good night. Irene, good night. Good night, Irene. Good night, Irene. I'll see you in my dreams. Last Saturday night I got married. Me and my love settled down. Now me and my love are parted. I'm gonna take another stroll downtown. Irene, good night. Irene, good night. Good night, Irene. Good night, Irene. I'll see you in my dream. All right, now we have the answers to trivia. The whiz is weaving his way.
Okay, in case some of you found these difficult, I've got an easy one for you, a bonus question. It was in the Village Voice, and there was even a class on a program on a Saturday morning. So how many years did it take to build the, not the Eiffel Tower, the Washington Monument? How long did it take to build the Washington Monument? 100 years, yeah. How come you didn't all know that? All right. Now to the interesting questions. The first town in the territory of Missouri that was founded by Americans in 1789, Cape Girardeau, St. Genevieve, New Madrid, St. Louis. Who? Well, St. Genevieve was long ago, but I don't think it was American, was it? Answer, New Madrid. established by American George Morgan in 1789. And St. Genevieve was a lot earlier than that, but not the answer. Okay, now this one I know you know. From the German legend of the Pied Piper of Hamelin. What is a Pied Piper? If you don't know, listen carefully. A man dressed in colorful patchwork garb who played a type of wooden pipe-like flute or recorder that induced rats to follow him out of town. So next time you'll know that one. Number 3, since Jesus was born in Bethlehem, why wasn't he called Jesus of Bethlehem? That's because Nazareth was where his parents lived and where he grew up. Number 4, during spring training for Major League Baseball, some teams train in Arizona while others train in Florida. Both of these locations are referred to as a league with a specific name. Arizona, Cactus League, and Florida, you know, grapefruit, yes. Number 5, some of you won't know that. What do we call an integer or whole number that can be divided evenly only by itself and by the number 1? Who? That's a prime number, is right. Number 6, everybody will know this. Their pop culture wedding was broadcast live on a late-night TV show in 1969 in front of 45 million viewers. And it lasted only a few years before they divorced. That couple was Tiny Tim and Miss Vicky. And it says here he passed away in 1996, but she's still alive at the age of 73. And they were married on the Johnny Carson show. Number 7. I think only Bill would come up with this one. Navy ships are naval vessels, while umbilical cords attach to a navel. So is the fruit of the orange tree. What is the okay, so the yeah. Okay, the answer. The navel orange is with an EL. Number 8. This is an easy one. How many cast members who acted on the original Mary Tyler Moore TV show are still alive today? The answer is 0. If you have none, you get half credit. Number 9. What was the name of the character on that show portrayed by Mary Tyler Moore? Mary Richards, yes. And number 10. Traditionally, sassafras root and sarsaparilla root were used to flavor 2 similar but distinct types of soft drinks. Well, sassafras was what? What did it make? Root beer. And sarsaparilla was just sarsaparilla. Okay, who got all 10 of those plus the... Okay, well, I didn't bring a prize anyway.
Jules, you have a little video for us?
You've got this, and we've got you. That's what you can expect from the #1 largest nursing school in the country.
Some gifts don't come wrapped. They come in the form of clarity, of knowing there's a plan, and sparing your family from making difficult decisions. Planning ahead is a gift of love, not loss. Memorial Planning, honoring your life story, is our life's work.
Anyway, I held a number of different jobs, and every job I would go to, they would always be having like a week's orientation program, and they would present you with every problem you would be faced with during your first day on the job. And now, I'm going to do a little switch here, but I'll tie the two things together. One of my favorite movies is King Kong, and the big scene, of course, is when King Kong climbs the outside of the Empire State Building. Now, to tie them together, I thought, what if the night that King Kong climbed the outside of the Empire State Building, it was also the first night on the job for a new guard? He had gone through a week's orientation program on the problems he could expect to face his first night on the job. I think his day might have gone something like this. Mr. Hennessy? Yes, sir. I hate to bother you at home like this on my first night, but something has come up, and it isn't covered in the guard's manual. I looked in the index. Yes, sir. I looked under unauthorized personnel and people without passes, and apes and apes' toes. Apes and apes' toes. There's an ape's toe sticking through the window. Well, see, he isn't your standard ape, sir. He's between 18 and 19 stories high, depending on whether we have a 13th floor or not. Yeah, well, I'm sure there's a rule against apes shaking the building. There is. So I yelled at his feet, and I said, "Shoo ape, and I'm sorry, but you're going to have to leave." And then I know how you like the new men to think on their feet, so I went into the broom closet, and I got a broom without signing out a requisition. I will tomorrow, yes, sir. And I started banging him on the toes with it, but see, there are these planes flying around, and they're shooting at him, and he's only swatting at them, so I figured I wasn't doing too much good with the broom. You don't care what I do, just get the ape off the building. This could complicate things a little, sir. When he passed by here, he was carrying a woman in his hand. Well, I don't think she works in the building, no, sir. Yeah, she had kind of negligee on, so I doubt she's one of the cleaning women. Well, the first thing I did, I filled out a report on it. Well, I don't want to give the building a bad name either, sir, but these planes are shooting at them, and they're starting to hit them, and people are going to come to work tomorrow morning, and they're going to have to walk around the big dead ape in the street and start putting two and two together, I think we're safe on that score, sir. I doubt very much if he signed the night guest book downstairs. You don't care what I do, just get the ape off the building. Well, I came up with an idea, but I'm not supposed to leave my post. Yeah, I thought maybe I could smear the Chrysler building with bananas. Hello.
You've got
America, land that I love, stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above, from the mountain to the prairie to the ocean, white with fall. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home. Have a great week, everyone.